best show
What's up,
ever.
everyone? Welcome back to
This
Best
is the
Show
best
Ever
show
Pod,
ever.
podcast where I
This is the best
interview
show,
people
the
about
best show
concerts
ever.
they ever
This is
saw
the
in
best
their
show.
life.
Best show I ever heard.
I think I'd have to
agree.
This week, this episode is so truly unlike every other episode that I've done. If you've been listening to the episodes and you've been enjoying them, this one's going to be completely different. We do eventually get to the best show ever of this guy, but he's too funny. He's too hilarious. We're having too much fun to even get to the questions. I've got Connor Marr on this episode, the owner and founder and niche EO of the Long Strange Niche account. Connor and I have become buddies through the internet, honestly, through just being comedy guys. He sends me improv stuff and, a whole bunch of different comedy things. He's such a good dude, but he's also hilarious. Um, Connor is a school teacher, works at a school. He is based in Florida for this episode. He's in Florida as we're talking, but he's an East Coast guy. So we get into Hampton stuff. We get into MSG stuff. We get into a lot of Goose stuff that, he was privy to some very cool Goose early on stuff. How many times did I just say stuff? A lot of times. Either way, I'm gonna get out of the way of this intro. I'm gonna fall back here and have you guys just sit back, relax, laugh your butts off to this awesome conversation that I had with Connor Marr. But first, is a little bit of music from none other than Jesus and Fartfinger.
This is the best show ever. This is the best show ever. This is the best show ever. This is the best show.
Best show I ever heard.
I think I'd have to agree.
Look, I'll edit this out.
No,
not gonna have
don't
this
leave
in
it all in. Cut this.
Oh, cut the leave it all in, but leave everything else in.
Yeah, but cut that, and then we'll leave this in.
Got a nice little like beachy vibe going on behind you, man.
I live in the beach, man. This little guy I bought at a thrift store when I was in college. It's the piece of art that I've had for the longest amount of time. I have had it for over 10 years. It's cats in the rays, and they're cats in the rays. Get it? Because they're cats and they're in the rays,
yeah,
but they're cats in the rays.
That's the Jerry album that never came out.
Cats in the Rays. Oh, speaking of, what? Wow.
Whoa.
Props ready to go?
Man, you got the American Beauty vinyl on the desk with you.
Yeah, on the coffee table. No, I just remembered Zoom days of teaching and was like, oh, I need to like prop this up so I'm not like, hey guys, I'm on a podcast right now. I'm like looking down. I was like, need this to be a little bit eye level. I'm not going to stare at myself in the corner the whole time.
Well, listen, I mean, like if people are listening on Spotify or people are listening on whatever, so like
that's
some people are going to see it
because this is going to be a very visually stimulating sode. So if you're listening on Spotify, you're going to want to check it out on the YouTubes.
Yeah, go ahead and just pause the Spotify and pull up the YouTubes.
Yeah, subscribe, unsubscribe, and then resubscribe again.
That's right. Helpful for the algorithm.
Yeah, it's all hail the algorithm. The algorithm brought us together, so it's doing something right.
Yeah, I pray to it every night.
Yeah.
I get to the side of my bed and I'm like, just Lord, please help me get so many views, so many likes, Lord. Algorithm.
Yeah. No, I just want the quality likes. I need my likes just to be like, gosh, that's exact algorithm. Thank you.
Thank you, algorithm.
This is the exact like I need.
I want the drummer from a band that I haven't heard of yet. I want a guy who sells a lot of shrooms, but somehow has 10,000 followers.
Yeah. No.
I want.
That's the thing is when I created Long Strange Niche. Oh, thank you for introing me. When I created Long Strange Niche with its whole 368 followers that we got right now, when I was at like follower 52, I was like, the fact that none of you have tried to sell me mushroom chocolates is kind of pissing me off right now.
You're posting fish stuff. That should be enough.
Yeah, right.
You type the name fish into one post. People are like, you want to buy shrooms now?
Yes, of course. That is exactly what you want to do.
Like, is this guy too niche?
Never said not a thing. We can always explore the niche.
We can always explore the niche. Also, I'm gonna do a nice little intro for you. I make these nice little like intros and outros, and then I just do,
Yeah,
I do that by myself.
We'll dive into it.
But if you'd like, I can do it with you right now.
Sure. I mean, do you want me to intro you? Ladies and gentlemen, we have a guy who makes funny videos in the character of a fan of a jam band on the internet, and now he's hosting a podcast. His name, ladies and gentlemen, is Marr.
And folks, we've got a really fun guest for you. We got him on Google Meet. I wish he was here with me, but unfortunately, he's over the internet. We've got a guy that you might know as Long Strange Niche, a guy that you might know as Connor, but I call him my buddy, Connor Marr.
Oh, and then there's an applause. I have a studio audience here. Do you have a studio?
Oh fuck.
Yeah, no, I hired them.
It's me and my girlfriend's cat, and so no, that's it.
Wow, so it's not
your
yet.
Man, I'm gonna have to do. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do something about that. I'm gonna have to get a live studio audience probably.
Yeah, crazy hour in the douche. Get a couple of sound bites that you just put in applause every now and then.
I do need a douche. I need a guy to come in and be the douche for me. That's a
niche reference, folks. It's a
very niche.
Later season, Nick Kroll, when he was dating Leslie Knope, he was on Parks and Recs and playing one of his classic characters of the radio host. And that is what you're signed up for if you're listening to the Long Strange Niche limited edition, limited release Connor's Best Show episode. You're signed up for it, folks. If you'd like to unsubscribe now is the time.
Go for it. If you don't know any of this stuff, might as well just hop off right now. There's going to be a lot of quotes and references that you probably won't get, but you could look them up. They're good lookups.
Yeah, Google all these when you get home.
When you get home, Google the douche, Nick Kroll. And
yeah. I hate to do this to you, but that was actually a reference to a Nick Kroll YouTube video that I sent you a couple weeks ago. Google these. Damn it. Yeah, I know. It's that.
Oh, niche. Yeah.
You don't even realize how niche it is.
That's the 92Y, like Bill Hader and Nick Kroll.
Yeah.
Or no, not Bill Hader and Nick Kroll, the John Mulaney and Nick Kroll.
You'll find it.
Yeah, if you don't know this stuff, it's going to be a tough episode, folks. We might talk about fish, but we're probably just going to talk about really, really niche comedy stuff.
Yeah. Just Steely Dan and niche comedy, which I've also started to realize that niche comedy is just the things that I like. I've tried to get other people to talk about their niches, and like a buddy, and when I say a buddy, I mean a random person on the internet, was like Legos, and I was like, totally, man, know nothing about that, but I'm happy it's your niche.
Actually, I don't care about that. So
yeah, but you're out there and you're caring about it. Soccer, cool. There's a bunch of leagues. All right.
There's no way to follow soccer. Yeah, there's no possible way to follow soccer.
So by niche, I just mean the things that I like.
Yeah, it's Long Strange Connor's favorite stuff.
Yeah, but it's a great way to be an idiot on the internet. So
I love it. I love the account. I think it's the best. As a guy who is making niche, super niche comedy, like all my comedy friends, like from Chicago and stuff, and the friends that are out here with me, they have no idea what to do with the stuff that I make. They're just like they know that I do comedy and they think I'm funny, but they're like, good. So it's about a Tila. What's a Tila? What's a fish? What's a MSG run? What is this?
Right. I know. Ryan Storm. Hold on, let me pick up that name real quick. Ryan Storm. He said,
full name drop.
There's gonna be so many. Buckle up. Ryan Storm. I posted like fish rocks, and he's like, not that niche of a take. And I was like, you have no idea how you are the niche. You're a niche inside of like fish has become such a big part of your life that you don't think that fish culture is niche. And meanwhile, you're the niche of the niche of the niche.
Yeah, Fish isn't Coldplay or U2 or fucking where it's the nichest.
Yes, I mean the nichest you can get while selling out 7 nights at MSG.
MSG. Yeah, but like just go to the grocery store right now and like tap a guy on the shoulder and be like, you know anything about fish? They're gonna be like, fuck off. I don't know you.
Yeah, they're like,
what is
no,
this?
it's in the back of the grocery store. There's ice, there's a whole bunch of fish. That's where you can get it. They actually do sushi at this grocery store. It's a really nice one. Yeah, you haven't had a guest that you can play off of yet. Like, I'm sorry. Like, people are
I've
funny.
done my best. I've done my best, but it's really just a lot of me doing goofs and people being like, cool. So I was just talking about the concert that I was seeing. If you could just shut the fuck up.
Your Chicago comedy friends will really, really appreciate that. All the 3rd and 4th city people will really appreciate this.
They're gonna be like, this guy can do improv. This guy can stand.
Let's get him out here to Los Angeles.
Let's give this guy a suggestion. Here's a suggestion.
Yes, and
what's the first concert you ever saw in your life?
First concert I ever saw, Chicago and Earth, Wind, and Fire at the Virginia Beach Amphitheater. I believe it may have not been the 4th of July, but it very well could have been the 4th of July. Saturday in the park. I think it was the 4th of July.
I think it was.
My mom's birthday is the 4th of July. So 6-year-old me, I remember I had gone, like my first concert memory ever is going to get like a soda or something. And then they go into Saturday in the park. And I was just like, I mean, 6-year-old me was like, fuck this. I got to get back to my mom on the lawn. And then ran back and was like, sad, it's the 4th of July. It's your birthday. It's the song. It's the song.
All the stuff. It's all the things.
Yeah. So that was my first one. I do think that I saw like a Beatles cover band at like a brewery or something, but first concert was Chicago.
Did you say, where was that? What was the venue?
Virginia Beach Amphitheater. It's gone through many different names. When I was there as a young child, it was the Verizon Wireless Amphitheater. I believe now it's the Veteran Home Loans Amphitheater. Fun fact, because some of your fans are jam band fans, Fish was playing there on the day Jerry died. So we're nuts because that was 2 days ago. R.I.P. Jerry. But yeah, Fish was playing in Virginia Beach, 757.
Is that the same venue where they busted out the Terrapin Station, or am I getting that wrong?
I am not that much of a historian, but yeah, of course it is.
Yeah, of course it is. We nailed that. That's perfectly right. Ryan Storm won't get mad if it's wrong at all.
Gosh.
What about the worst show you ever saw?
So I've actually been asked that many times because I am a very positive showgoer, and people like everything is the greatest thing in the world to me. The worst show, I honestly can't tell you because I am just so stoked on every single show. The worst show moment was at a Fish MSG show in 2018 when one of my roommates just goes, "Oh, why would they play this song?" And I was like, dude, just close your eyes and wiggle. Like, we were up in like the 300s, 200s, whatever. And he just says out loud, "Why would they play this song?" To this day, I don't know what the song was, but
I was just going to ask.
It doesn't matter. I mean, we can pull it up. Let's go 12, 27, 18, Fish. I'm sure that not 12. Oh, no. Maybe it was 28. Maybe it was.
So Connor, that's a t-shirt. What you were saying before, shut your eyes and wiggle.
Shut
That's
your
a
eyes.
t-shirt.
Oh wow! Wait, can you? Oh, we're literally recording this, so
We're so unbelievably live right now.
we're incredibly live. Stay live.
We're absolutely live, but that's the t-shirt. Is shut your eyes and wiggle.
I've been. That is a pretty standard like thing that I say out loud. So that's very true to me. It's just to just close your eyes and wiggle. Fuck. That is we're recording. I don't need to write it down.
Write it down, and I'll have it recorded.
I've been writing a lot of things down the past couple weeks. I have a buddy who, if you'll allow a tangent, who every time we get together for a fish run or something like that, we'll just write down all the one-liner, just stupid shit that makes us laugh, and we call it the set list, and then we'll go through the set list. And it's just a great way to, when you're super hungover or whatever on a Sunday morning, just to just absolutely cheese to the moments that you guys had.
I did this exactly. The first time I ever did acid at Alpine, I took it early, and I was just getting into comedy.
Yeah.
And so my brain was like really into, like, I was just getting into performing comedy and doing it. And so my brain was like really wired that way. And I was like, I am gonna write down all of the funny things that I think or feel during the show. And then this is gonna really like spark some big idea.
You
And
sound like me the first week I moved to Brooklyn. I was just like,
Yeah, dude.
I'm a comedy genius. I'm gonna write everything down.
I'm a savant, and my brain is going to come up with beautiful things. So me and my brother share the same iCloud account. And so like we share, like, I see his notes sometimes, or like sometimes I'll get like his missed calls, weird, like little stuff. But he had my notes in his phone. He's like, so all you got from the whole show, it was one sentence, and it just said, pain in my dick guy. Because there was a guy there was a guy who was like on a four-wheeler, and then when you pull into Alpine, it's just like a big open grass lot. And he's like, pulls up on a four-wheeler, and he's like, all right, everyone, single file line in your cars, pull in right next to the car next to you. Do not be a pain in my dick. And, and I'm like, that's a guy. And then I just let it go after that. I didn't, that was the funniest thing, I guess. And he's like, this is your second city training? Just pain in my dick guy?
Pain in my dick guy. That is a guy. I mean, that's what the internet has devolved into, is just, hey, here's a guy. I have a whole list of guys. Shit, you just made me remember that I have a list of guys. That was just a free association guy. Fuck. Do you mind if I just go? I have not looked at this. Guy who is obviously sharing on social media but doesn't want to be. Guy who wants you to know he does the fun drugs. Guy who is so nonchalant about sports that he forgets why he watches. Guy who fucks chickens. Guy who hates his girlfriend's tattoo. Guy who rents.
Hold on, pause. Guy who fucks chickens, is that what are we doing with that?
No, but so there's another one. Guy who's trying to light a Super Bowl right now. Guy whose girlfriend's criticisms, while they are direct and helpful, our overall relationship are a little too pointed sometimes, or not so much that they are pointed that it's like, did you really need to say that? Then I'm trying to watch the game. Guy who fucked a chicken one time. Guy who strictly eats at Jersey Mike's. It was a whole bit. It's a whole thing. Yes. I'm remembering now that I wrote it as like a multi-character. Shout out the guys, just period. Shout out the guys.
Shout out the guys.
Shout out the guys at the Friday Beers, because I love their shtick of like the Friday Beers conference room when they're just trying to come. So that's what that was. I'm now remembering that it's, everyone's just throwing out an idea of a guy, and then as your beautiful reaction, thank you for subscribing to the YouTube, guy who fucks chicken gets a reaction, and it was that one.
Yeah, and it's just like, wait. So hold on. Was one of those guys guy who fucks chickens? You're like, yeah. And then there's also a guy who only eats Jersey Mike's. There's a guy who gets in a fight with his girlfriend. You're like, yeah. So, what are we doing with the guy who fucks chickens? Is it just, what does he do? And you're like, right. I mean, like, whatever.
It was one time.
It was literally one time.
Guy who says holes are holes, man.
Like, yeah, I can explain it if you guys give me a fucking second. I can
Yeah.
I can tell you why.
Yeah, I mean, when that beak looks you right in the mouth.
What are you supposed to do?
So yeah, it was Chicago was my first show. Does anybody really know what time it is? Does anybody really care
Anybody really care
about
about time? Oh my god, dude. The guy who only eats at Jersey Mike's, so he's like, yeah, no, I'm down for lunch. Yeah, what are you guys thinking? All right. Well, I think I'll probably just get Jersey Mike's.
Yeah. Dude, I'm kind of sick of Jersey Mike's. I mean, we could do Wawa. No, like Wawa is cool. I love Wawa and stuff, but like it's more of like a Philly thing, and I'm Jersey proud. I'm a Jersey Mike's kind of guy, so
Can't really be seen walking into a Wawa, you know?
yeah, they're right next to each other in the shopping center.
And so that's gonna be a whole fucking thing.
Right. So after
my
you
God.
cut all that,
This is already, yeah, I got so much to cut, dude. There's so I have so much editing to do on this.
the director's cut a just completely unhinged version of this sode. It's gonna be incredible.
Who am I kidding? I'm releasing the Snyder cut of this. This is gonna be, you're getting the whole.
No, I mean only the niche heads will be listening / watching this. And
yeah.
So it'll be 4 people and they're gonna love it.
Tell you what, you 4 people who are still listening, there's gonna be a super nice surprise for you at the end of this episode.
Yeah, we're actually gonna talk about my best show ever.
We'll actually talk about concerts and we'll do the podcast.
Yeah.
That's gonna be the gift. Holy shit, dude. Yeah, this is very unlike any other episode I've done with anybody else, but I feel like I knew that.
Yeah, we knew what we were signing ourselves up for.
Yeah, it would have been so funny.
We've ever spoken directly to each other.
Yeah, we've got a lot to get out. There's a lot of buddy energy to get out. It would have been so funny if you came on the podcast and you just had like glasses on and you were like had your like notes in front of you and you were just like, yeah, so I wanted to start off with my first show. Really interesting. I felt the first time I ever saw, and like you just very, very earnestly got through the whole podcast. I would have loved that. I also would have gone crazy.
While you're here.
What's up?
I said, feel free to smoke a bowl while you're here because it seems like you got lighter on hand.
I do have lighter on hand. Sometimes I got to just play with something.
Absolutely. You got to twiddle with something. I was playing with the back end of my buddy's truck one time, and he was just like, can you get your fucking ADHD hands off of that? Oh, wow. Speaking of props, I'm going to do an entire cube while we do this interview. So you had questions.
So I do have questions. You actually did answer a few of them, but now we're going to get into some of the other ones because I have more.
Lean into
the other. So it's hard to, how do I do this? It's hard to pick just one best show ever. So do you have any shows that you would be just remiss if you didn't get to bring up? Any honorable mention shows?
I'm so happy you asked this because a show that obviously popped into my head when this first came up, but I can't tell you that I remember any of it besides I remember it being an incredible show is No Doubt. It was such a sick show. Early, like 2009, God. No Doubt. Paramore opener. Fucking ripped my face off.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's a sick tour.
$10 lawn seats, courtesy of Live Nation when they used to be chill. Are they a sponsor? You have sponsors? Sorry, I didn't mean to.
I will never have Live Nation. I'll never have Live Nation. I will have Live Nation. Though.
I was just about to say I heard the tickle of Live Nation, and I might need to just fuck Long Strange. Like we could just Live Nation. All right, it's gonna go into the shirts.
Write it down.
Toggle.
This is also what it's like to hang out with comedians in real life. Where everyone's just like, is this a thing? Like instead of like Live Nation, it's like Live Nation, and then we all write it down for a second. It sucks. I hate.
I will always remember being at an after party for one of my plays that I did in college, and I was just controlling the entire room, just holding court, and I'm noticing this guy in the corner just like taking avarice notes. Avarice isn't the right word, but it came up. And
It works.
greedy notes. He was greedy with all of the things that I was saying. And then he just comes up to me, taps me on the shoulder and says, "Thank you," and then leaves.
Whoa.
I was just like, can I just see the things that I said?
The East Coast is a crazy place, man. Chicago people are too nice to pull that off. You'd
Yeah.
be like, darn it. Well, that guy's pretty funny. So never mind.
Yeah.
Just leave.
No, East Coast is ruthless. Midwest is too nice, and West Coast is too high. So
We're too high, dude.
Print the shirts, man. But yeah, what was your question? Oh, Paramore, and no doubt.
And no doubt.
When
Oh
you
my
realize that
God.
it's a bangers only set, and you're just like spider webs, hollow back. Dude, I'm just a
How good of
girl.
a song is How good of a song is I'm Just a Girl, and how good of a song is Spiderwebs, dude? Like those are two of the best songs ever. Maybe best songs of all time.
The only song that is possibly better is Digga-dun. Hella good. Got me feeling hella good. Keep on dancing.
That's it. That song will change your brain.
Wow. I used to shower to that song. Just
Yeah, and you probably had a bunch of really good days after showering to that song too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, turn off this episode and go listen to fucking Hella Good right now. Why are you listening to this? What are you doing?
Well, they're taking notes as well. So
they're like, good.
Hella good. Yeah, they're like, wow, we just went 25 or 6-4 into Hella Good, and also another shower song. This is my show where we're talking about songs that we listen to in the shower. The Anthem Part 2, Blink-182.
Yeah, dude.
Oh shit, that's what I got from the record store. All right, sorry. I was out of town for 2 weeks, and Sierra was just like, "You have a record waiting for you at the record store." And I was like, "Yeah, it was too long ago. I forgot what it is, but it's Take Off Your Pants and Jacket." And I'm pumped to get it.
Classic. Have you seen Blink?
I have
you ever
not.
seen Blink?
I was too poor to see them this time. 5 nights at MSG, 1 night of Blink.
Yeah.
But in that realm, for the Blink fans, for the niche Blink heads that are the scene kids, if you will, last fall we went to see My Chemical Romance.
Oh, one of my all-time faves, dude.
Dude,
truly one of my all-time favorite bands.
So, in this past fall, and I say this past fall like it was almost a year ago, we saw My Chemical Romance, and it was one of the sickest shows ever. Did the move where you buy tickets in like the 300 levels, and then you search on Game Time. Thanks for the sponsor. Use code niche, and we bought like 100 level tickets, like really close to the stage, and it was just like, we're paying for 4 tickets, but fuck it, this is gonna be sick. And gosh, it was sick.
They are so sick. I saw them play with Blink-182. It was My Chemical Romance Blink-182 tour in like 2014 or 12, or I don't even remember. It was amazing, dude. And if you hear I'm Not Okay live, dude, you're okay.
Yeah.
That song heals you.
There was a guy behind us during Cancer singing the background vocals, and I looked at him, I was like, sing it, dude. Sing, like, just give me all of it. And like he was singing and just weeping, cry guys. And we talked to him after the show because that's what they closed out on. That was the encore. And he's like, yeah, I flew from Brazil to be at the show. And
oh my God.
And I was like, well, I'm so happy you sang your heart out for the last song. Yeah.
People are so massively connected to that band. And Yeah, dude, it fucking shows when you're at the show. You are a guy who cries at shows. I know because I also cry at shows, and we'll send pictures of each other crying at shows,
Cry all the time.
crying all the time. Can you do you have any like big time, like any times that you were especially a mess crying at a show?
Especially a mess. I mean, gosh, there's multiple. I can tell you rather my most recent crying at shows story because this is an honorable mention show as well. But I also felt as though that the show, like, you know how like in the NBA and the NFL, they have to like wait 3 years before they go into the Hall of Fame. That's how
Yeah.
I'm thinking about this most recent summer tour.
Yeah.
Is like it's just too recent to be the greatest show ever.
Yeah.
This is my honorable mention in a show that I did think about talking about today, but it's not the show, so I'm happy you asked this question. So this was Goose at SPAC this past year,
Oh
Saratoga
man.
Performing Arts Center for those
Yeah,
laymen.
dude.
And so the song Silver Rising, which is
Mm.
a co-write between the Goose Boys and their dear friend Matt Campbell, the keyboardist and lead singer of Pseudo. Sorry, I have to do a little bit of history lesson for the niche heads.
Teach him up, coach him up.
We're sitting on the lawn, my brother, our buddies, and I, and we're just like, and my brother is talking to a friend, and he goes, "Yeah, Connor's favorite song is Silver Rising. He literally cries every time he hears it, whether it's at a show or just by himself. So if they play it tonight, he's probably going to cry." And as soon as he finished the word cry, opening chord of Silver Rising, they opened with it. It was literally one of the most symbiotic moments of my entire life. And then my brother is looking at me and goes, "See, he's going to cry right now. Watch him. He's going to cry." So they open with my favorite song at one of my favorite venues. Sierra's from upstate New York, so SPAC is a very special place. Also, Matt Campbell, the writer of the song, went to Skidmore College, which is in Saratoga, so it was very, very special. My second episode, we're going to talk about this show. I'm not going to keep talking about it right now. We can edit this out. And I now have the pressure to cry. I'm known as a cry guy. In that community, I am the cry guy. And they're like, cry. And then I'm like, in my head, being like, dude, you have to cry. But I get to this point where I'm just like, dude, it's your favorite song. Just enjoy the song. Like, you just need to enjoy the song. Like, stop thinking about whether or not you're going to cry. Just enjoy the song. And I did, thankfully, because I'm a professional at going to shows. And then, like, they finish, they do the whole, like, the cacophony of sound in that song. Feel the rush, taste the blood.
Oh my God.
Dancing.
I mean,
wow. And just I just unload tears. And just to start off a show, tears, first song, first set. I'll send you the picture so you can put it in the YouTubes. Because I take pictures as cry guys. As we previously discussed, I take pictures every time I cry at a show to normalize crying at shows.
You should normalize it, and it should happen. And I've also been there where it's like, this is too early to be crying in a show. Like, it's way too, like, I saw Fish at Alpine Valley in 2022, and that's not like a memorable run, but they open with 1999 on Saturday, and then I haven't seen Fluffhead at this point, and then they go into Fluffhead, and like the 99 Alpine Fluffhead is like a very like storied fluff, and I'm there with my brothers, which adds to it. I think that like when you take in the whole moment, you're like, I'm here with my brothers, I'm in the pit, you know, or I'm here, I'm at SPAC, or I'm at Alpine, whatever it is. And then we're also there with Kyle's two friends who have never seen Fish, and I am just I'm not. It's uncontrolled streams coming out of my eyes, and I'm looking, like, I look up the lawn and away from the band, and especially away from Kyle's friends, because I'm like, it's way too early for me to be crying this hard, and they're gonna be like, what the fuck is going on? Like, these two people. But yeah, dude, it's also like, moments where you feel like the first time I saw Dead and Co do Morning Dew was this summer, and I had seen them like 8 times. And so it was like finally getting the Morning Dew, and you're like, I should be crying right now.
Oh,
but it's not, it's like a contrived, you're like, oh, well, I'm not, and then you get in your head a little bit, and the second that thought leaves and you're like finally back in the moment, it's just like waterworks, floodworks.
so I just remembered my uncontrollable tears time because
Yeah.
Dead and Co sent me. It was not Dead and Co. It was Phil and Friends at Levitate Music Festival, and also the Morning Dew. It was not Morning Dew. It was Franklin's Tower. Roll Away the Dew. And
Oh,
I have a vivid memory of freshman year of college, cleaning up the party room after a party in my fraternity house, and one of my buddies comes up to me and goes, "Hey, Connor, you know every song. Do you know who sings this song?" And he's blasting Franklin's Tower, and I was like, my dad raised me on Jay Giles Band and AC/DC, not on Grateful Dead. So no, I really don't. I think it's like Grateful Dead, the greatest band in the world. And I have visions of him as I'm trying to clean, come up to me and go, "Roll away, you." For the listeners on Spotify, I'm shaking my
he's doing
hand.
like a
Just
he's
doing
like a little hand.
Hey, do you do what you think I'm doing? Roll away. Yeah, what you're doing is exactly right. And but the buddy who did that had recently passed. And
Oh,
I had
man.
this moment that I'm like, holy smokes, I'm hearing this song. And I pulled out my phone to text him and say,
Oh,
the Herdt face.
oh,
I know.
dude,
Never have I ever
dude.
cried on a podcast.
Oh,
I pulled out my phone to text him, and I was just like, "Oh, I can't. Oh, lifetime shit, fuck." And I was just sobbing uncontrollably. But it was also just like the beautiful moment because you allow yourself to believe that he's watching this moment that you're having, and you're just like, "Yeah, man, I remember it. I remember you. This is your song. This is one of the greatest songs ever."
dude.
Gosh,
You're gonna make me cry right now.
we're cry
It's like
guys. It's what we do.
we're cry guys. Sorry.
That's
Actually, I'm not sorry. That's a guy who cries at really moving things. Yeah, dude. Like when when you connect with music in that way, like that's where it lives. It lives in that moment, and it'll live there forever. So every time you hear that song, like that moment lives in that song for you. And like, oh man, that analogy, just like that exact thing, just made me weep uncontrollably to Mrs. Doubtfire, a movie that does not hold up very well. A lot of transphobic stuff in the Mrs. Doubtfire movie.
Sure.
Obviously Robin Williams, incredible. Sally Field, incredible. But there's that moment at the end of the movie where Robin Williams can't see his kids anymore. They've agreed that it's going to be a year. He's completely broken. He just got the job on the television show, and he is as Mrs. Doubtfire on TV. And the kids like don't know where the noise is coming in the house, and they run into the TV room and they're watching their dad on TV, and Sally Field's watching him on TV, and they're all having a moment together. And I'm just like, oh my God, when you make things, you're with the people that you love when they watch it. Or like when my folks see me do some like goofy stuff, they're with me. I mean, poof, Jess was like, wow, you really like Mrs. Doubtfire. I'm like, no, I really like art, and I really like messaging, and I like fucking my family, and like.
If you're still listening and you have not subscribed to the YouTube, you're fucking up.
I mean, you got it now, Robbie. If you're still listening, you got it now.
If you're still listening and you haven't shed a tear yet, get out of here.
Get out of here, dude. If
All
you're
right.
not weeping, if your keyboard isn't just flooded with tears, get out of here. We've asked people to stop listening to this podcast like 4 or 5 different times on the episode.
Well, that's
We're
how
like,
we
stop.
Stop
right.
listening. Go listen to Hell Again. If you haven't yet. All right. Thanks for coming back after that Hell Good. Wasn't it such a great song? We're gonna pick up.
Welcome back. Welcome back. We've been talking for 20 minutes about Fern Gully. And now we are gonna talk about your best show ever, dude. Do you have a best show ever?
Yeah. So like I said, there's some shows in the past like 2 weeks that, as my mom said, wasn't the show that you went to last week the greatest show you ever been to? To which I said, yes, it changes every time. But the greatest show before this past summer was to be a real fish fan, 10, 18, 18 fish.
Oh,
Hold on, let me make sure I verify that date. I'd be a terrible fish fan if I didn't. Because it might be 10, 18, 18, 20. Yeah, no, it is 20. No, 10, 10, pardon, 10, 19, 20, 18. Don't even know the date of my fish favorite show.
great fall. Incredible fall run. That's the fall run I saw my first show at.
Wow.
Yeah, dude.
Wow. So
Yep.
you're a very recent fish fan.
It took me a long time to see them. I've listened to Fish all the way through like middle school and high school. I just never had buddies who were down to go, and I could not go to a Fish show alone. I just was not confident enough. I've done it now,
Yeah.
but I can't do it anymore. Yeah, or I couldn't do it then. So
no.
yeah, 2018, my buddy Andy Urschel, also improviser, also incredible actor, Second City guy that I did stuff with. They were in town at the Allstate Run at 1028, so days after your best show, and he's like, "Do you want to come?" And I was like, "I can't afford a ticket." And he was like, "You're going anyway." So we went, and it was fucking sick, but not your best show ever.
My best show ever. Okay, so
where was that?
That was at the Hampton Coliseum.
Wow.
So I'm from Virginia, from the 757. It's been discussed. It may have gotten edited out. I have, I grew up there, so I've known of the Mothership. My best friend, like from life, since like we were in the same first grade class together. His dad is the technical director of the Hampton Coliseum.
Whoa.
Yeah. So like I've worked like dinosaurs, walking with dinosaurs, the ticketed experience, like different shows, like WWF Raw before it was WWE. Like I've done the load in for those shows.
Big.
And my buddy, who's not a Fish fan, his little brother was there for he did the load in, and like, not to get him in trouble this is the niche episode, no one's gonna listen to this one. He like took pictures of like the white guitars that they used for Kavast, and they're like, shit, we might get an entire Kavast box set.
Whoa.
Yeah, so he was there for the load in and such. 2018, go home. And I had a bunch of, obviously it's a hometown show, so a bunch of buddies are going. And I was and my friend, I think it may have been his first Fish show. He did the load in, and I was just like, well, Hampton Coliseum, for those of you who don't know, it's the perfect venue. It's entirely GA. You can be on the floor if you want. You can be in the seats if you want. And every single seat in the entire place is perfect. I will see you at Goosemas. Yeah. Yeah.
Was that to me, or was that to the listeners?
That was to the listeners.
Okay.
Some more background on this. So I had just moved to Brooklyn, and Fish, like earlier that summer, Fish announced their run. I didn't have a ticket yet. I was working for my buddy who's a huge Fish fan, and at this restaurant, because we're actors, we have to have cliche jobs.
Oh yeah.
Niche, is that a thing? I don't know. Write it down. I'll take that minuscule laugh. And my very first table ever at this restaurant, my buddy's like, hey, it's that guy's birthday. He actually has extra Fish Hampton tickets, so you should go and talk to him and crush his birthday party. That guy was Greg Knight, who, if you are a Goose, and we have a nod of approval from Cam for the listeners, if you're a total Goose head, Greg. He is one time, if not current publicist for Goose, really took them from the where they were when I first got to know them to the upper echelon that they are, and just overall crusher. Shout out Greg. His wife's about to have a baby. He's about to be a father any day now. But he is in my phone to this day, 5 years later, as Fish, because he had an extra Fish ticket to my greatest Fish show that I've ever been to. I will continue to text him to this day, and I will type in Greg, and I'll have to delete it and put in Fish. And we'll never change it because it gives me a laugh every single time. But let us dive into the set. Wait, do we talk about drugs on this set on the show or not?
Absolutely.
Okay, so for my buddy's little brother, also my buddy, he worked the show. We've discussed this, and I at the time just had like an ounce of mushrooms and was like, guys, this is going to be sick. I have an ounce of mushrooms. And they were like, and he's like 9 years younger than me. So he was, I don't think still in high school. Who cares? He was like, how much do we take? And I was like, honestly, I have no idea. Just grab 3 or 4 and go to town. So off into outer space. We go in, we get on the floor, and we are from me to the guy with the dog hair away from Trey. And we're just literally like probably like 10 people deep. And I'm like, you know what? It's like 7:53. I think I can make a run for it. Go to the concessions, grab like 5 bottles of water, and just start handing them out to my buddies, and then also myself and a random stranger. The stranger then goes, "Yeah, dude, thanks. You want a tab of acid?" To which idiot me was like, "Yeah, of course." Having just ingested too many mushrooms, double down on a tab of acid. This show is not incredible because of the drugs. It's just a part of the show story. I'll go through the set list and you will understand how incredible the show was. But yeah, so just so you know what planet I was on. They come out, Strawberry Letter 23.
Love it.
Wow. I'm one of the few people in the native circle around me that know what this song is, and I'm just grooving so hard. I'm not holding it against them. I'm teaching them as you do with your neighbors. And then, of course, they go right into, as the drugs start to take effect, you want to balance yourself a little bit out. Blaze on.
Blaze.
Please find your balance.
Please.
Blaze on. Connect with your fellow neighbor. Light up the jaunts. Into a mock song, which was lovely. Can't tell you that I remember it. It was lovely. Into my favorite song in the entire world, Divided Sky.
Divided Sky, dude.
And I am probably 20 feet away from Trey. And he held out the pause before and just... in our private discussions, I've told you this. If I ever get to ask Trey one question, it is, what do you love more? The roar of the crowd before you go into the Divided Sky solo, or the absolute silence that the crowd gives you before you go into the Divided Sky solo? Because that roar is unbelievable. But the fact that 20,000 people can go from just screaming their faces off while they're doing absolutely nothing into an absolute
pin drop. You can hear
pin drop silence.
Yeah.
So you can go.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Oh, it was incredible. I'm going to cry again. I definitely cried then. And
it's such a special moment, that pause. It's such a, if you know Fish, it's special. If you don't know Fish, you're like, why is this so awesome? It's like it's such a fucking sweet moment.
It's truly my favorite. When I was at MSG, I make the point I'm like the opposite of the Fish fan who's like, well, this is still on the table. I'm the Fish fan who's like, don't fucking tell me I would like to be surprised, even though they've played a large amount of their catalog. And so going into night 7 with Putt, I was just like, I have no idea. And then I look and they started playing Divided Sky. And I'm like, oh, wait, my favorite song is still on the table. This is incredible. And then they played it again. And I was just like, oh.
Yes, dude.
Dude, so that was truly, truly special. Wow. I'm now, as I'm going through the set list, I am now remembering why this is my favorite show of all time. And so it's nice to just confirm. This is a live confirmation that this is my favorite show. Reggae, however the fuck you want to say it. I don't care.
Raji.
Ragi apparatus.
I think it's Raji. Yeah, it's Raji.
Yeah, Raji. Anyway, so that song, it's chill, it's great. But we move on to the first Fish song that I ever heard. Sparkle.
Tweezer. Oh.
So my dad was a middle school teacher and was a middle school teacher in the early 90s. And his kids would make him mixtapes and mix CDs but there's one mixtape. It's called the Kendra mixtape. Kendra, if you're listening, I couldn't tell you what your last name is, but she made one of the greatest mixtapes ever for my dad.
Dang.
And Sparkle was on it. And as like a 7-year-old kid, laughing, fall apart, laughing, fall apart, laughing, fall apart. That's
you probably drove your dad crazy with that song.
Just having him play it over and over and over again.
Great song.
So that was the first time I ever heard that live. And was, as we said, art and family, your family is with you in that moment. My dad was at the show with me. He wasn't, but spiritually, his astral projection was there with me.
Yes, dude.
As we were laughing and falling apart. And then Undermined, very sick. Meat. Oh. First time I ever heard Meat live, and it has become a very, very sick song. Rift, and then Walk Away to end the first set.
What a first set, dude. What a great first set.
What a first set. I mean, as I've said at many shows, that's been my favorite show. I could go home now and be a happy boy, like, because the first set, you're just like, what? Like, I don't need anything else.
Yeah.
When I talk about when I host my podcast, the top 20 favorite shows of your life, I'll talk about Atlanta Goose this past year because that first set was one of the greatest first sets of my entire life. But yeah, so Mothership, you get outside, you realize that the sky is actually divided. One of the greatest parts about the Mothership, aka the Hampton Coliseum, is that you can stand outside of the elevated place during set break and enjoy the night air. And it's just gorgeous out and it's perfect. And you can go back to your seats, even though you never even had seats to begin with. Met up with a buddy, shout out Matt Miller. He's one of the niche heads that will actually listen to this. We had a discussion about how he's a glasses guy. That night, it's funny now because I'm wearing contacts. He was basically like, dude, just wear fucking glasses all the time. Like, you don't have to wear contacts. And from then, I've become a glasses guy. My glasses are broken right now. So, tour, dude. Your glasses break on tour.
Happens on tour, dude.
Dude, I am guilty as charged with the stories of talking. Do you have anything that you want to say as the podcast host as we've reached that break?
This is not my episode. This is your episode, my boy. This is all about you. So yeah. Do I have anything to add? Absolutely fucking not. Other than that, that's a great first set.
Well, guess what they opened up the second set with? I'll allow you to guess. That much of a heater. They're gonna rip your face apart. What do they open up set 2 with?
Weezer.
False. Carini.
Oh.
Yeah. Just like, you thought you were feeling the love and the light of a divided sky. You thought you were laughing and falling apart. No, fuck your face. We're doing Carini.
Run.
Carini, and it was just absolutely magical. Did the second step. My buddy was actually, he had ADA seating, so we were like, we got some space to really get down. Gosh, I'm sorry, this is a live memory. I just remembered. We were on like I wasn't on the floor anymore. I was up a level, but just hanging out in like the alcove / like not the aisle, but basically just boogieing with the security people. You've been there before.
Hi, dude.
And I was getting down so hard to Carini and spinning so hard that I literally told a random woman who was wearing a blue Madras shirt, I was just like, you are my anchor right now. Because I was just like that far gone that like whenever I didn't know where I was like, all right, she's there, so we're good.
Yeah.
Which
You
is
gotta
just,
have an anchor. Gotta have a buoy out there.
yeah, have a buoy. Thank you. Yes, because it keeps you afloat rather than drags you down. You are my buoy. And that's just an advice to, young kids who want to do drugs. Get yourself a buoy.
Pick someone out. They're your buoy. Whether they agree to it or not, they're your buoy.
Yeah, you don't need to actually have any conversation with them. But just for stabilization purposes, as they say in wow, this is like one of my Batman Begins, always mind your footing. Yeah, you didn't expect a Batman Begins quote right there.
I haven't expected most of this episode, to be honest.
Well, no one's gonna listen to it. This is actually just
I haven't
conversation for longer than like sending voice messages to each other. But now you're getting a gist of who I actually am, and you're loving it. So
I'm loving it.
Yeah, I know.
Dude, let's hang out. Honestly.
Yeah, come to Florida. So Carini, we'll stay focused. Into Sand. Side quest. I saw the Mansfield shows last summer, and the guy in front of us had a shirt that on the back it said "No talking during sand." And then during sand, we were like, "Oh my gosh, they're playing sand!" And he just talked through the entire thing. Forgot what shirt he was wearing.
This motherfucker.
He forgot what shirt he was wearing.
He's like, yeah, I love sand so much because people usually respect sand and don't talk during sand. I love sand, dude. Now that they're playing sand, I'm so pumped they're playing sand because, like, I was hoping they played sand. And I was kind of thinking, like, maybe they won't because now it's like, shut the fuck up, dude.
On my water bottle, I have a long, strange putt, chunky, don't talk sticker.
That's a chunky. If you're talking at a show, that's absolutely a chunky.
Don't come over by me. And it's great to
figure
have
out what you do.
You had
all summer to think about it.
I'm wearing my own hat now. I had Putt's hat handy that I changed like 17 times, and I realized I'm going to sweat so much that I'm just going to let the hair rage. But this is actually fantastic to have during shows because then you can silently tell someone, don't talk. And
yeah,
except for when I started talking to him, he grabbed my water bottle out of my hand and just flashed it right. He don't talk to me. And
yeah, my brother, my little brother I'll just be in the middle of talking to him and he'll just hit me with one of these and then he'll point at the stage. He'll just like finger over the mouth, shush. And I'm like, right. We should talk about how I was just talking. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we should definitely
talk about how you were just talking.
Oh yeah, no, I actually I was talking with a niche head this morning about shushing people, and I realized this past week that one of the reasons why I love to say "gosh" during shows when I'm amazed, I just go "gosh" because then you can extend that into a "gosh."
It's a gosh shush.
It's a gosh shush. Gashish fish. Fishish. So yeah, Carini, Sand, Golden Age, hated it, right?
Bummer.
Twist.
Hey, Mountain. If you get a twist, it's a good show. That's a concept from my older brother. As soon as you get a twist, he's like, it's a good show if you're getting a twist.
You're just how every rainbow has a blue jay.
Every rainbow. Not every last one of them has a Blue Jay.
Every single one of them has a Blue Jay. Every twist show is a good show. So we're twisting. We're having a great time. We are in the mist of the mountains in the mist. And you're just like, gosh, this is so lovely. Feel free to mail it in, guys. We've had the greatest show of our entire lives. Take it wherever you want. Meat stick.
Meat stick, dude. I'm sorry. I know meat stick is meat stick and everyone has fun and they dance, but the first notes of meat stick get me so riled up, dude. Just when you hear Paige just like I'm like I freak out.
Yeah.
This is not a hot take. This is not a niche take. I'm just saying.
This is not a niche take. But yeah, I mean, that is the tension build of that song is like, yeah, we know what we're about to do to you, but we're just gonna let one guy start the tease. And yeah. So meat stick. So for those listening intently, we have a meat stick show. Not often. I don't know. I'm not Biz Archive. Don't know how many times that meat and meat stick have been played in the same show, but it happened that one.
And that's a good call. That's a special.
That's about as far into the analytics that I will get because, as I've said previously, just close your eyes and wiggle. And not only do you close your eyes and wiggle, but what do you do after a meat stick? You split open and melt.
Ooh. Good Lord, dude. This is a hot show.
Hot. Piping hot. But gosh, let's finish. So one of the characters for the fans listening at home, my friendship with Cam is based out of me wanting to be an idiot on the internet and use my acting skills, and he inspires me. It's a very real compliment to you. And I want to do the things that you do, and I'm trained to do such. So like I know I can do it. And one of the characters that I would like to do is just Goose fan in 2053, who's just the worst and just talking about how like, dude, I was there in 2018. Like a lot of guys became a fan during COVID, and like that's cool and all. Like TED tapes, they did the whatever the ping pong machine thing is, but like a lot, and they were putting out new content. It was sick, but like I was actually there before COVID. Like I knew of them before COVID. And so
I looked up in 2021, and like there's all these people who like Goose now, and I'm like, okay, I guess, like, welcome, but like I've been here,
Yeah, I mean, I was actually a pseudo fan before even Goose was the thing, dude. Like, not to. And actually, hold on, let me just quickly shout out my buddy Hunter Hollingsworth, who I believe I've already shitted out. But after one of the he invented Goose, he made Goose happen. So after one of the MSG shows, I'm going to tell this story quickly backwards. I know we have to get to the encore, but we're at set 2 opener, so take 15 minutes. Trey needs 15 minutes. And after one of the MSG shows last week, Rick is just walking into a bar as we're walking past, and I just hit him with a, "Hey, Rick, I was at a SPAC with Hunter Hollingsworth and Matt. We had an incredible time. Thanks you for an incredible time." And the face that just lit up on Rick Materatonda's face when he heard the name Hunter Hollingsworth was just like, oh, got him. Knew it, like, because I mean, imagine like hearing one of your buddies from home, like face name just pop up.
Probably it was like a Nardwuar thing for him. I'm sure he was probably like, "What?"
Absolutely. So full on tangent, just so Ryan Storm can understand Goose history. You have time, right?
Someone teach that kid about Goose. I think he's got to learn like what's going on.
So there's this band called Vasudo, right? And Visudo every year, and possibly multiple times a year, would play what they would call Ridge Fest, because where they lived in Connecticut was on like the ridge where, hey, at night, clear skies, you can see Long Island from the ridge. That's a
Okay,
very
shit.
niche quote of Hunter Hollingsworth that only he will get. And so we're gonna have 6 listeners to this episode because I'll force him to listen to this one as well. And they would play in my brother's friend's backyard. Visudo would, and so my brother went to college, and his freshman year, the kid who lived across the hall from him was like, "Dude, you got to listen to this band, my buddies from home's band," and would play Factory Fiction in
Crazy.
2007, 2008. Empress, Empress hadn't been written yet. Hot Love and the Lazy Poet, my favorite Visudo song of all time. I force everyone to listen to it because it is the greatest song. I met the Lazy Poet on the Spack lawn, told him that. Sorry, we're going off on hard tangents. But so as a part of my obnoxious 50-year-old Goose fan, I do get to say that I knew of Visudo before 2012. Which is kind of nuts to be in on it like that early, but also like very, very sick. And Visudo, they do my body right.
And that video will be funny because it is true to you. It's not. You're not going to be doing a guy. You're the guy. You're the guy.
I am the guy. Hey, you're the guy.
You're the guy.
Niche reference to yourself.
Niche reference to myself.
Yeah.
To my short sketch. If you guys, hey, if you like YouTube, check out. You're the guy.
You guys are the guy. Oh gosh, gosh. Putt has got me so fucking self-conscious about how many times I say "gosh" now. But anyway, we were at this Relics event. Pick it up, put it down over there, and we saw. And I saw this band that I strictly know from TikTok, and I just refer to them as the TikTok band. And like Jack Black saw one of their things and was like, "Oh, this guy is kind of like a Jack Black character." And I walked up to him and I was like, "Hey, I don't mean to be that guy, but you guys are those guys. So, and you in particular are that guy. So remind me, which guys are you? Because I don't know the name of your actual band. I just know that you are that guy." And they played it really cool, and it was really sweet of them. AMH band. I think it's like Aaron and the Metal Hawks. It's not in my breakfast waking up, but shout out them because they're putting themselves out and being idiots on the internet. And if we're good at anything, it's about being idiots on the internet.
You know I'm down for that. You know I'm down for people being idiots on the internet. And doing Jack Black stuff, if you're doing Jack Black stuff, let her rip.
Yeah.
I think Jack Black is one of the most underrated comedians of all time.
When's the last time you saw Saving Silverman? Because it's one of the greatest movies of all time.
Pretty incredible. I think that he gets overlooked anyway. He's worked enough. He's going to be okay. Jack Black will be all right.
He'll be fine.
Yeah.
Can't wait for the reunion. But anyway, random question for you. What is the state slogan of Virginia? Any chance that you know what the state slogan of Virginia is?
It ain't no jokey. Be a hokey.
Wow, I love that out of you. That's incorrect. If I started you off with a Virginia is for
lovers.
And
I knew that actually. I actually knew that.
Ish is playing. Virginia is for lizards.
Lizards.
And that was the encore. The lizards.
Dude. What a great encore. A great any part of the show, but when you get that for the encore, you're like, special. This is special.
Absolutely special. It was incredible. It's my first time hearing it live, and to get the Divided Sky roar pause solo and the Lizards roar pause solo in one show, in your hometown. Hampton's not my hometown, but you get it. Was just it was just spectacular. And
Improv guy, you love when the callbacks just hit super hard, like a meat in the first set and then a meat stick in the second set, and you're like, okay. And then, yeah, I mean, we like callbacks. We're improv guys. Sorry.
The guy.
Wrap up the set.
We wrap it up. Thank you for the listeners for letting me go on my Goose tangent. I'm sure half of you hated it because you're fools. Edit that out. We're all positivity here. Anyway,
I think the people that hated it still listen to it.
Yeah, they do.
It's like when you hate a sports team and you like listen to the sports radio show that's their sports team. You're like, I gotta know what my enemies are up to. So Goose haters, you know, just about as much as about Goose as people who like Goose. Be honest.
My buddy who's a huge fish head. I work at a school and my boss is a fish fan. That's what we talked about for as long as this interview has been going on, is we just talked about fish. And then he has hired 3 more fish heads and it's been fantastic. I'm sorry for saying fish heads. I'm sure the dead head people are getting upset with that, but chop it off. It's a fish head.
Sorry.
But anyway, Virginia's for lizards. We finish the show. We end up at Waffle House, and with my friend my friend's little brother who I started the show with, and our other buddy, and my friend, aka these children who I gave mushrooms to. They're not actual children, FCC. They were in college, so it's okay to give them illegal drugs. And
be fine.
Yeah, you'll be cool. And I just will always remember my friend was just like, I don't even know how to order. And my friend just goes, don't worry, Connor will take care of all of it for us. And I just ordered for the table, just 3 all-stars at like 2 a.m.
Yes.
And then we look and we realize, oh, what shirt did my buddy get on the lot? Virginia is for lizards.
Whoa. Dude.
Right? I hope everyone, all 7 of you that are listening to this, we got an extra listener. All 7 of you that are listening to this are like, did the same whoa that Cam just did. And as I told him, I was like, I would buy that shirt off of you for $500, but I cannot even take that shirt from you. Like, you buy a Virginia is for lizard shirt on the lot on your first fish show, and then proceed to get a lizard's encore.
Yeah, it's like, welcome to seeing this band for the rest of your life. It's like, that dude's about to see. It's like you're seeing fish forever now.
Yeah, it's keep coming back. It works if you work it. That's a niche reference for the AA kids in the community.
Little niche AA, little 12-step thing.
Yeah,
we reference everything. It's not just Nick Kroll stuff.
Yeah, we can go beyond Ref Jeff. But yeah, so Virginia's for lizards at Waffle House, and then proceeded to be we literally told the people at Waffle House, this Waffle House is catty corner to my mom's house. Like, there's a stoplight. My mom's house is right here. Waffle House. It's like you can see the KFC right through the front window. And
there's no cute restaurants around here.
It's actually a really nice neighborhood. And we basically, my buddy tells the lady working at Waffle House, like, listen, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. It's Friday night. You know we're fucked up. Give us the full Friday night show. And this Waffle House decided just to put on an absolute time of a show. I spilt my drink. They refused to refill my drink the entire night. And I was like, please, I will tip you out so much. And she goes, no, honey, I'm going to put it on the ticket. It's already on the ticket. And just needed to tell her, and then like did a full, I'm going to put it on the ticket dance. And
oh my God.
At one point I was juggling eggs for chocolate milk. It was Yeah, the show that was actually the best show ever was the Waffle House after my favorite fish show.
We went through the whole fish show just so we can talk about
Yeah,
the put
that
it on
was
the
just
ticket days.
all a preliminary to talk about. Oh no, honey, I'm gonna put it on the ticket. I'm gonna put it on the ticket, and it was. I
It's
mean,
another T-shirt. I'ma put it on the ticket.
Yes, I saw you with. I'm gonna put it on the ticket on your shirt. So Putt had me just doing I saw yous with for the entire weekend. He could not get the song out of his head,
Yeah.
and it was just too much. And as you can tell, the residuals are still in my head. So yeah,
Silly
I'm
guys.
a ticket.
Silly guys.
I think I paid like $150 for a $40 meal. Like
Oh
it was just one of those times where you're at Waffle House and you have too big of a bill and you're just like, you deserve it. Love and light. Thanks a lot. I mean, I had just seen the greatest fish show of my life. I wanted and I was walking home to my mom's house, which was like across the street. And it was
like, I don't need anything. I don't need any of the money in my account. I don't need anything anymore. All I need is tonight.
I just need this water bottle, my Rubik's Cube, this
Rubik's
tech
Cube that
deck.
You almost solved that Rubik's Cube.
Oh, I am gonna solve it. I actually fucked it up, and then I had to start over again. So we're just gonna keep talking for just give me like 5 more seconds, and then we'll get it. But yeah,
we're gonna have Connor on for 5 more seconds, and then
5, 4, 3. You can ask a question if you so choose. 2,
1. Fucking 1.5, 1 3/4. Done. For those of you watching the video, Connor throughout this whole entire conversation has solved a Rubik's Cube. So
we keep
tell
it
your favorite podcast host about that, huh?
Yeah.
What other podcast you got doing that, huh?
Yeah.
I didn't think so.
Didn't think so. Yeah, and then proceeded to walk home to my mom's house, and our other buddy who was coming to like the next 2 nights of fish was like, Connor, don't worry, I didn't sleep on your bed. Your bed's wide open. And I was tripping so heavily that I was like, you take it. The floor is good for me.
Yeah.
And just
we've all been there.
When we've all been there where you're like, no, I need to be as close to the ground as possible because you need your buoys, you need your anchors.
You need a buoy. Sometimes you need a cold wooden floor. Sometimes you need a little carpet. Sometimes you just need like one little spot. And that spot doesn't always end up in a bed.
No.
You know? You know it when it's right.
I regretted it like hours later when I was still awake. But at the time, it felt so right. I mean, I just had the greatest fish show. Probably tipped the Waffle House lady $100 and gave my bed to a friend who was going to the next fish show. So it's the greatest night of my life.
That's a great night. That's a fucking great night, dude. I mean,
you want to hear how shitty the next show is? No, I'm just kidding.
I kind of do, but I also, you know, I kind of want to know, like,
your Tila's in the next show.
Oh no, you missed the Tila.
I'm sorry. This is just a moment in Fish Rocks, and they always have something in the quiver, and can just always empty a quiver and then have a full quiver. The next show, Slow Llama, Fuego. Oh. I know. Runaway Jim, Bug. Little girl was not on stage, but she was there. Mound, Tila. I've been calling it Tela for 50 years. 46 days, and set 1 with a fluff head. I was there for the show. I was there for this show. It's the Mothership. That's why you're going to be at Goosemiss. It's going to be sick. It's going to be the greatest show of your life.
I gotta go to Goosemiss, dude. It's when you've given me a place to stay. I don't have tickets, but it's just like, yeah. I mean, this Hampton story pretty much did it for me. To be honest,
it seals the deal. Yeah, I've like joked about like trying to work the show Because I know the people that and then just think
Yeah.
it would be so hilarious just to be like doing loaded and be like, yo, Jeff, where you want this gong, man? And he's like, why are you touching my gong? Why are you
I would
touching
love I would kill to do the load-in. One, I could use a little work. Actors are on strike right now. And two, I just think it'd be so funny because we have interacted with Jeff a little bit, and it'd be so funny. It'd be like, Mr. Revelo, do you need any help with any of your things? Right
No.
this way, Rick.
To be honest, I would probably just annoy Getty so much and be like, dude, but like how do you make the lights go woo? And isn't it like so cool when like you have like a circle in your LEDs, but then it kind of looks like a G and you're like you could spell out Goose because it's like a G and an O, and like you could probably make it, but you don't. You just do like a G and like it's just like one extra little dot. Here, I'll do it this way for the listeners. So it's a circle, and then he'll do like this. He just won't light up this half, but then he'll like get one to the inside, and you're just like, oh, it's a G because their name of the band is Goose.
It's a G, 1,000 O's.
Right.
Good.
And then just a quick, it actually probably is. And just a quick, mind you, this is not the greatest show I've ever been to, but I also went to this show. We'll just do a quick set to encore. First tube, tweezer. There's your tweezer.
What's the tweeze?
Love a tweeze. Dirt. Backwards down the number line. What is this guy's deal, Dad? No Man in No Man's Land. Cavern. Real shitty time. Got a Jaboo. Okie Pa. Close it out with a Susie Greenberg. And then one little encore that I know you're gonna love. Shine a Light.
Wow, dude.
And that wasn't even the greatest show I've ever been to. That was the night after.
Oh man. Well, one, I gotta get to Hampton. Two, I've been listening to Dick's shows to get ready for Dick's, but now I feel like I gotta drop everything and listen to this Hampton weekend in 2018.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, like that's fucking crazy.
It's absolute bonkers. And then I just lost it. So the next night, and this is just a great fish lore, and this also allows me to just hate myself even more and goes into my second podcast episode with you. That Sunday, like everyone was just so beat from the first two nights that there was a literal, you may remember this from like when, I don't know if it was like StubHub, but like there was the commercial for the Ticket Oak. And it's like, oh, you can't just go to a tree and get tickets. At that Sunday show, there was a literal Ticket Oak where people were just attaching with tape free tickets to a tree outside of the Hampton Coliseum because so many of their friends were like, fuck it, I got to go back. Like, there's no way that they could do anything after that. And that would have been my first yem if I didn't go.
If you didn't stick your ticket on the ticket out, dude.
And I'm an idiot. But for my second episode, I will tell you the story of my first yem. It's not available yet, as we've foretold about or previously told about. It's not available for Hall of Fame consideration just yet. But my first yem was an incredible tale.
This will probably I'll probably have to break this one up into episode 1, episode 2, and then so your third episode we'll be just the yam, and then episode 4 will be the rest of it.
Show this to anyone except for just send it to Ryan and Sean and Jeff. Jeff won't watch it, but he might.
He'll watch like the first 30 seconds and be like, "Nice guys, that's awesome. Good for you guys. That's awesome.
It's so great."
Do you have anything coming up that you're stoked on, dude, or anything that you're listening to right now that you're stoked on?
Fuck. I don't know, dude. I live in Florida, which is like one of the biggest mistakes of my life was moving to a place where there's no live music. But it allows me to just send the summer. I'm a teacher, so I send the summer every summer and go see all my buds. I'm just coming off of like a 2.5 week tour. And also there was like a week before that where I saw 3 Goose shows. And yeah, so I'm kind of maintaining the chill for a little bit and taking care of my body. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And then I got to teach these kids.
So who's gonna teach these kids?
I have to.
Dude,
How do I reach these keys?
you had a huge, massive summer. So yeah, take a little rest, dude. Relax, chill.
And then
But in the
Goose,
meantime, and thank you so much for coming on, dude.
yeah.
This was so much fun.
I'm so
Um,
happy that our first actual conversation was an hour and a half long.
and it's recorded and it's on Spotify. That's how all of my first conversations with everyone I'm friends with are on Spotify.
Very normal thing.
Super normal.
All right, so what's your closeout bit?
That was a little bit of music from Jesus and Fartfinger, but also just a hell of a conversation with Connor. That's the first time Connor and I have spoken to each other longer than like a couple second voice memo. But I already feel like his good buddy. Connor does that to people. Makes you feel like your good buddy pretty much right away. He is down to joke. He has got all the references you could ever know and ones that you don't know for sure. And he's just a good dude who's also seen some good shows apparently. That's what we've just found out. So um if you liked this conversation, follow Long Strange Niche, his account. Make it not niche. Make it a huge thing. It's one of my favorite accounts on anything. And also check out all the other conversations of Best Show Ever. We mention a bunch of people in this episode that I have got episodes with. So go check those out. Thanks so much for listening. And until next time, guys, have a great show.